What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Fizz, bringing you guys the UPA-D League Week 7 game against DSGaming and the Birmingham Vulpix. Derek is a good bud of mine. We played each other during WPL. He hacked me, classic, but now I'm playing. But yeah, I'm looking to get some revenge here. He's currently 1-0 against me, so in that regard, I definitely want to pick up a dub here. And I also want to pick up a dub because if you didn't see last week's game, I definitely don't recommend it, but watch it anyway. Give me views, but now I'm playing. But yeah, I choked an incredible game. Like it was the worst game in history. Like on both sides, it was just a horrendous game. But it was the best choke I've ever seen in my entire life by anybody. Like if I clicked a button and thought about like for a second, then I probably won the game. Because I always win. I've never lost in my life, but you know what? I decided to give Soapy the win by clicking Dazzle and Gleam. So that was just a fantastic choke, top one, honestly. But yeah, enough of that. But yeah, another reason to win this game is because Zern won his game. One of my division mates, I guess. He's 4-3 right now. Clyde lost this week, so he's 3-4. So if we win this game, we're going to be ending up in the first position in the division. If you didn't know, if you're first in the division, that means you are guaranteed a berth into playoffs, which I definitely want to have. So yeah, being ahead of Zern, who's just a good player and can win anytime, is going to be a good thing for me, So yeah, I definitely want to be ahead in the division and go into the playoffs. But yeah, that's enough about me. I'm going to jump right into his team. Derek has the Mega Dynasty, Infernape, Scissor, Kieran Black, Jolteon, Slowking, Mandibuzz, Whimsicott, Mudsdale, Linoon. I'm not sure why that's bolded. Porygon 2 and Crustle. His Z move users are the Infernape, Whimsicott, and the Crustle, which are all pretty decent Z users, quite honestly. Z Whimsicott is pretty situational, but it's still a pretty good mon. Z Infernape is very, very good. Z Crustle is very good as well. But yeah, he has a lot of offensive threats. He sniped Infernape and Scissor from me, which I was not a fan of, not very happy. But he ended up taking it and just gives him incredible offensive prowess, including things like the Kyurem and the Linoon, which are just very scary threats. Linoon and Crustle are very scary setup threats. And he has very solid defensive backbone with Slowking, Mandibuzz, Mudsdale, P2 are all very solid fat mons on his team that can defensively pivot and yeah, in general, just really good mods for him. So he had a really nice balanced team that he has here, but yeah, it's going to be a good one here, and I'm going to jump right into my team now. First of all, I have the Diggersby, just a classic Diggersby set. Ow, I just scratched myself. Diggersby has a Life Orb, huge power, of course, 4 attacks with Return, Earthquake, Quick Attack, and Thunder Punch. Max Attack Adamant is the set I decided to run. What Dual Stab does for me is everything, but what it doesn't do is hit Mandibuzz super well. It can take 2. After Rocks obviously dies, but that's why I have Thunder Punch on there. Now I opted for Thunder Punch over something like Ice Punch just because I'm able to get a KO on the Mandibuzz after Rocks if I'm in terrain. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, that's really good for me, and using the terrain to my advantage is just really good with Diggersby, and I don't want Wild Charge because Life Orb Recoil plus Rocks plus Wild Charge Recoil is just not for me, so Thunder Punch does the job well enough. And Quick Attack can be a very good late game win con potentially, because Infernape, Diancie, Jolteon, a lot of his faster mons don't necessarily want to take a Life Orb, Adamant, huge power, Quick Attack, all that. Just a very powerful move, even though it's only base 40, just very powerful. It 2-shots Jolteon after Rocks, which is incredible to think about, thinking it's a 40 base power move. But yeah, this is just the best set that I could bring here. I was thinking about Scarf, which actually has a really good matchup against him because it pressures a Mudsdale into switching in. It pressures the Mandibuzz, but Mandibuzz actually just hardwall Scarf Diggersby. So Life Orb hits things harder and hits the P2. So yeah, I decided to go with that. Next up, I have my Hawlucha, classic Hawlucha. Acrobatics, Head Jump Kick, Swords Dance, Roost with the Electric Seed, Unburning, classic BS Hawlucha. Opted for SD over Bulk Up. Like, Bulk Up wasn't bad here at all. I felt like Swords Dance was much, much better here. So I'm able to SD and guaranteed KO the Scissor and Slowking, Mandibuzz, stuff like that. Just really good security for me in picking up KOs. Now, I'm outspeeding +2 Mega Dynasty since that thing is an insane threat, hits incredibly hard. So I have really good security in that respect, outspeeding that. But either way, I do anticipate Quick Feet Jolteon. I'm aware that this is definitely a set that he could bring. I have definitely run Quick Feed Jolteon in the past before, like I outsped a Mega Aerodactyl or whatever. One time with my Jolteon, I ran a Flame Orb on it and I got a speed boost. So yeah, that's fine by me because it really takes away a lot of the power that Jolteon has. And I imagine him bringing the Jolteon just because it's a second immunity to Koko. Koko's electric moves other than Mudsdale, but Mudsdale's incredibly pressured here, so I definitely anticipate the Jolteon to come. But yeah, either way, this thing puts in tremendous amounts of work once the Mandibuzz is removed from the game, and in general just wins if terrain is up. I just need to play my cards right and have a little bit of defense to take scissor hits better. So that's really nice for me. Next up I have, I'm going to talk about my two next Mons kind of consecutively, well obviously, but as the same Mon. Seismitoad and the Necrozma here are going to be my defensive backbone Mons in this matchup. They both check the Mega Dynasty and the Infernape. They both do that. Seismitoad checks both of them, Necrozma checks both of them pretty well, right? But I'm going to use them interchangeably here. Like, nothing is a dedicated switch in to one of those. Like, Necrozma, I'm not going to say, okay, I'm only switching in Infernape on this with Necrozma. I'm not going to go like, okay, Seismitoad's only switching into Mega Dynasty. No, they can both switch into both the big threats of Mega Dynasty and Infernape, because those are definitely the biggest threats against my team offensively. Those things just insanely hit hard. Now, the Necrozma set here was very, very tough. Had insane forward move slot syndrome with Moonlight, Heat Wave, Earth Power, Toxic, and Psychic Stab. I really like Psychic Stab because it allowed me to break subs, hit harder. I felt like Moonlight was a really good move here, just because it was additional longevity to switch into things like the Infernape and Mega Dynasty. So Seismitoad doesn't have to carry all the weight, in addition to I Pop a Berry, which is very clutch here. No lefties because I felt like the berry was just better. Heat Wave is there, so I can hit Scissor obviously, and Earth Power is really, really nice here, so I can hit things like the Infernape, Diancie, Kyurem, Jolteon, a lot of things on his team. And I have Toxic on here because I kind of anticipate Mandibuzz coming with Rocky Helmet, Foul Play, stuff like that. For something like my Charizard X and Diggersby, it can switch into those pretty well. So Toxic in those Mons are going to be very, very beneficial. Excuse me, I had to say Taco Bell for my Zardex and my Diggersby. So yeah, really good stuff there. I have a little bit of special attack investment on there, just so I can hit just a little bit harder, and a lot of Fizz Def so I can switch into Flare Blitzes, since this is the only thing that I can have physically, because I really needed my Seismitoad, as you're about to see, to be Speed Def. It has a Rindo Berry and it has Swift Swim. It didn't come into play because, spoiler alert, Slowking did not come. So that was a miss gen, I suppose, miss team build, I don't know. With Protect, Stealth Rock, and Dual Stab, and Scald, and Earth Power. Now I'm almost max Speed Def here, just because I can switch in very, very well to Mega Dynasty and Jolteon, stuff like that. And having a check to Jolteon that can naturally check it, I mean, prevent it from, what's it called? Using my terrain against me, like Koko's terrain, it hits incredibly hard with Volt Switches, even if it is Quick Feet. And I want to prevent that from happening. So if it's not Life Orb, I have a Rindo Berry. Well, I have a Rindo Berry in general for two reasons. One, I anticipate Special Infernape 100%. Grass Knot and Dual Stab hits my team incredibly, incredibly hard. But I understand if physical comes. Like, both sets are very viable in this matchup, I feel, but I don't think he wants extra recoil from Flare Blitz, and Fire Punch isn't very good. So, and he can run Z, of course, so he can run like Z Fire, Z Fighting, anything like that. So I anticipate him running special, so Rindo Berry covers the Grass Knot Infernape, and it also covers the HP Grass Jolteon, again, to prevent it from using my terrain against me. And Rocks are going to be incredible for his team, so I can whittle everything on his team. His removal is going to be Mandibuzz and Whimsicott and Scissor, but I don't anticipate that having Defog at all, quite honestly. So Mandibuzz and Whimsicott are going to be pressured in this matchup a lot by a lot of my Mons. So yeah, it's really good, and this offers a really, really good lead matchup against most things on his team. Just one of the best rockers in general to lead with, because it can check the rock types, the steel types, the ground types that may want to lead and set up rocks, which most of the time they do want to do against me, because I do have a Zardex. Player's tendency is to set up rocks immediately to prevent it from sweeping, which is definitely fair, but I can definitely take advantage of that and lead Seismitoad, which is incredible. So yeah, Necrozma and Seismitoad are interchangeable here, and that takes up the most of my team builder right there. Next up I have Koko, max speed to speed tie with the Jolteon, Electrium Z, Thunderbolt, Grass Knot, U-Turn, and Roost. Thunderbolt hits incredibly hard against his team. The only thing that does want to switch in is obviously the Jolteon that's immune to it with Volt Absorb, and the Mudsdale and the Whimsicott. So I don't really anticipate the Whimsicott really going to be a Coco switch-in because it doesn't take D-Gleams very, very well. And I obviously can roost off a lot of the damage that it puts out. And Grass Knot is really good because Mudsdale is really nice. If I Grass Knot the Mudsdale, it opens a door for something like Diggersby and Zardex to just do a lot of work. And if Mudsdale is chipped enough, it does die to a Grass Knot. So yeah, really good stuff right there. U-turn is really good because if he does want to pivot into Jolteon on my electric move, I can obviously U-turn out. And Electrum Z is just in general the best item here because it can guaranteed KO stuff like the Linoon. It does lots of P2, Crustle, Infernape, and Scissor, Diancie primarily. I can KO those pretty nicely with a little bit of chip with Electrum Z. So yeah, Coco is really nice here. I don't want to take a lot of hits from Jolteon if it is like a Life Orb set. So that's why I have max speed, just because I can speed tie with that and get a U-turn out. Next up I have my Zardex here. Now I run this set a lot, but it's like one of my favorite sets to run on Zardex. D-Dance, Flare Blitz, EQ, and Roost. Now I debated a lot of things, but I felt like this set was just probably the best here because I can switch into the Scissor. Even with rocks, I can switch into Scissor. I can take a U-turn and Bullet Punch, whatever it wants to go for. So I can really pretty much do that, get a free D-Dance up, and show me a switch into a +1 Zardex. Like Mandibuzz, yeah, I can take it, but I can roost off the damage if it's not like Foul Play, which does do a lot, but I can roost off damage from like everything on his team. Well, most things. Like Infernape, I can roost on if I have a +1 up, potentially. Scissor, I can roost that off Jolteon, Slowking, Mandibuzz, Whimsicott, a lot of things I can roost up on. So yeah, having longevity on that is going to be really good. And Earthquake Flare Blitz hits everything on his team pretty much, except for Mandibuzz, which I do think is pressured enough because I have Toxic on Necrozma, Coco, Diggersby with Thunder Punch, stuff like that. So yeah, this can also set up all over the P2 if it's not carrying Thunder Wave, which could be annoying. But yeah, man, I really like this set here. But yeah, in general, I really like my team. I think I have a pretty decent matchup, quite honestly. He has a tough time dealing with my Coco. He has very few switch-ins to the Coco and can't really play around the rest of my offense very well. So I am trying to get the W here against DSGaming, and I'm going to jump right into the battle. Alrighty, we are back here with the battle against Derek. Good luck, have fun, of course, trying to pick up my W here. And he brings the team of containing Whimsicott, Mega Diancie, Scissor, Infernape, Jolteon, and the Mudsdale. The combination of Jolteon and Mudsdale definitely made sense to me. But he decides to leave out the Mandibuzz, which I really like, because it relieves a lot of pressure from Zardex and Diggersby, and makes me pressure Mudsdale even more since that is his only Zard switch-in at this point in the game. Like, Diancie, no, not a switch-in, because it probably gets two-shot by Flare Blitz. So yeah, I can pressure Mudsdale really well since he didn't decide to bring the Mandibuzz. So this is all good information for me. Now, I don't anticipate him leading with Diancie to get up rocks, because I don't think he'll have room for it. I think Dual Dance with Dual Stab or Power, something like that, it's probably the best set to me. Or Infernape isn't going to have rocks, I don't think, anyway. He might have like Massy Plot 3 attacks, Scarf, I don't know. I just don't anticipate having rocks. So Mudsdale was definitely the best option for me to lead with. So yeah, again, I don't have like my avatar appearing on screen because I have a custom avatar on Draft Run too. So it doesn't show up on, unfortunately. So I am just going to lead with my Seismitoad here, as he makes a nice move leading with the Whimsicott, catches me there. As he goes for a leech here, which I'm fine with, because I predict him to double, first of all, into something like the Mudsdale to get up rocks against my Zard, take a hit, and get up rocks. So I go into my Seismitoad. Oh my god, I restarted. So he leads with Whimsicott, switching my Zard. He misses. Well, he didn't miss at all. He hit the leech. I go into my Seismitoad, predicting the Mudsdale to come in, because that's a very reliable check. Go for the rocks over here to get pressure his team, which I really like. His Defogger seem limited. I don't think it's going to be Whimsicott. I don't think it's going to be Scissor. So I'm thinking that he doesn't have any removal at this point, as he reveals sub and misses the Stun Spore, which was actually huge this game, because having Zard paralyzed would have been really, really nice for him. And yeah, that was really bad for him, because he would have done a lot of things with that. So I go into my Coco, prevent paralysis, of course, as he goes into the Mudsdale. Now I predict him to get up rocks over here, since that's what you do against a Zard, right? And I go for the Grass Knot, which does 2-shot, and it 2-shots through Rindo, in case he wants to do that. I was thinking about clicking the Z here, but I did not. I'm a pussy. So I go for the Grass Knot once again. And I'm thinking, okay, what can this thing do to me? As he misses a Leech Seed, which really sucks. And I'm thinking, that did 26, right? So I'm thinking, okay, I can break a sub with this really easily. Nice. with my investment. But he goes for Leech Seed. I go for my U-turn here so I don't get seeds up on my end. And I go into my Seismitoad here since he revealed all of his moves. He has Moonblast, Sub, Stun Spore, and Leech. So really good. This thing does a lot, but it doesn't do a lot back because it doesn't have like Sludge Wave or a nice move or anything. As he goes for a Sub here, and I'm like, okay, I can break this easily with Thunderbolt. That's fine by me. He goes for Leech, and I'm like, okay, I can break this thing Sub. But it was actually a roll to break the Sub, apparently, which was really bad. Very, very good set on the Whimsicott, which proves to be very annoying against my team. I Moonblast Gauge, or I Roost Gauge damage, and that is incredible damage against me. Moonblast plus the Leech is really annoying, so I go into my Necrozma. It was a risky move because I need Necrozma to check the Diancie plus Infernape. So at this point, if I go into Necrozma, I just really need to play carefully with the Seismitoad. And he thinks I can't really do much to him, so I go for the Toxic here, which puts down his Whimsicott. It makes it so much easier. If he subbed right there, would have been a big deal because I can do it next turn. That's fine by me. I go for the Earth Power here since he's forced to switch out, and it does a really good chunk to Diancie. And that makes me kill this thing next turn. So he's forced to attack right here. He decides to go for Mega Evolution and kill him with an Necrozma, which is definitely fair. So right here, I definitely need to play carefully with my Seismitoad. So I go to the Coco. I was thinking about Grass Knotting, but I didn't think there was any point to that. He pivots into Mudsdale, and he ends up pivoting out into the Whimsicott here. Again, I was thinking about busting my Z, but again, I'm a pussy. I should have made better reads there, but he's Toxic. Not much he can really do to me. He goes for a Sub right here. I believe I go for my Z. Because I think he's just going to go for the Leech right here, because subbing plus Toxic I don't think is the best play for him. But he ends up going for it, scouting out my Z, which is a very good play on his end. Go for my Roost so I can be healthy, and I'm just going to go for my U-turn next turn. U-turn next turn. As he goes out into his Jolteon, which is so good for me because you know why? Puts in the range of a Diggersby's quick attack, which nothing switches into at this point. Diancie doesn't switch in. Goes into his Infernape. For some reason, not really sure why, but get a crit on it, doesn't really matter. And I kill something with quick attack. Mudsdale doesn't switch in because he doesn't take an Earthquake, plus quick attack after rocks. So yeah, as he goes into his Mudsdale here, and he gets all his health back with the berry. As you can see, Earthquake does a tremendous amount. I decided to stay in and do that because Diggersby is not the best thing for me to do. And if I can chip this Mudsdale to the point where Coco can put in tremendous amounts of work, that's fine by me. And I traded 1v1 Mudsdale for Diggersby, so I call that a win for me, to be honest. I go into my Seismitoad, some least passive thing against his team, unless he goes into Whimsicott, which he does end up switching here, and he's just going to take rocks plus a move plus Toxic, which is all chip I'm fine with. I was thinking about staying in and going for like a Skull here, but he ends up going for the Moonblast here, which I'm pretty happy I switched out, quite honestly. Because what that means is that, yeah, because I said before that I need to conserve health on my Seismitoad so I can take a Diancie hit and Jolteon, because Jolteon looks incredibly threatening against me right now. So HP Grass can definitely do a lot if he is that quick feet set. So yeah, he gets a lot of Toxic, chip off, and I go for my Roost here as he goes for his Moonblast. Get a little bit of health back, doesn't end up mattering, probably KOing it. Well, I guess it doesn't matter because I died of Scissor anyway. So I'm just going to go for that. And I go into my Zarda here because he reveals lefties. If I went to Zarda, if he revealed like Bandit, or if he didn't reveal an item, I would have probably not gone into Zard. But he revealed lefties, which makes this thing not that big of a threat. Not really sure why. I guess it's like a bulky Scissor. So Charizard X right here. My plan is to go for DD and pick up a kill very easily. But I end up clicking Roost. It was a misclick. Really sucked because I basically got a kill right here, but instead I sack my Charizard for no reason, so that was the worst thing possible. Now I go into my Hawlucha here since nothing switches into a high jump kick, which is fine. He sacks off his Diancie, which was the correct play always. Goes into Jolteon, and here's where the 50-50 start, and by the way, he is quick feet Jolteon, so he does outspeed me. Well, he outspeeds me outside of terrain anyway. But here's the thing. If he goes for HP Grass here on my Hawlucha and I knock it out, and I knock the Jolteon out, I win the game. Because Seismitoad plus Hawlucha 1v1s to Scissor. But if it goes for T-Bolt into my Seismitoad, I win the game. So it was kind of a 50-50 here, quite honestly, depending what I wanted to do. So I decided to go into my Jolteon because he knows that if I high jump kick right here, it's over. But it really was a 50-50 in my opinion. Maybe not a true 50-50, but at least for me, my decision of clicking Seismitoad or high jump kick was definitely coin toss at this point. So I felt like the safer play was to go into Seismitoad because I don't Well, I guess it was just 50-50. I just chose that because, but yeah, he goes for the Volt Switch here, which is so good for me. Hope, I don't reveal lefties, so he's thinking I'm Rindo. So he goes into Sizzle right here, and I go for my Earth Power here. Since it KOs everything, and I get a Spadef drop, which kind of sucks. I'll explain later what happens with that, but he goes for the Bullet Punch right here. I go for my Skull to knock it out, which is really good. And right here I'm out of range of every hit from Jolteon, including a modest HP Grass, which I do tank very, very well. Doesn't even two-shot. Well, it does only 33, and I kill it with Earth Power. So that ending was based on that, whether I was switching into Sagnatoad out or whether I was staying in the Palucha. So it was all based on that play, quite honestly. And yeah, he did get unlucky with the Stun Spore miss on Whimsicott, and the Spadef drop was sort of unlucky, but I'm going to rewind a couple of turns here on this play. So he knows I'm Rindo, the correct place to switch out, I believe, but I win here anyways because, as you can see, he's going to switch out to Scissor, right? He's going to take Rock Chip, he's going to go for Earth Power, and yeah, I get a Spadef drop, but I two-shot at this point. With 2 more hits, I kill the Scissor, right? And Bullet Punch only does 16, right? So if he gets another roll of 16, he puts me down to 50. So let's say here I didn't get a Spadef drop, right? He Bullet Punches me, goes first. I'm at 50. Well, yeah, he Bullet Punches right here. Well, no, he lives any attack from me, right? And then the next turn, I would get hit with another Bullet Punch, which puts me down to 50. I knock it out, but I'm still out of range of an HP Grass from Jolteon. The maximum it can do is 40%, so the crit didn't matter in that regard, because right here, if he stayed alive, unless he crit me, Bullet Punch would never kill me, or HP Grass would never kill me at that range. So yeah, that's that. So yeah, really good game to Derek. I apologize about the Stun Spore miss. That was really AIDS. But I feel like I played my cards pretty well here. I didn't play the best, obviously. I may have made some unnecessary plays. I misclicked with the Zard, which really sucked. But yeah, I didn't play the best, but I feel like I played well enough to get the win here. And unfortunately, I didn't get to show off my nicknames. Maybe next week. But yeah, man, we are now 4-3 plus 8, I believe, at the moment. We are playing Vino next week, which is a very important game. I need to win that game for sure. But he has a very scary team. Hopefully we can pick up a W against that threat right there. But yeah, GG's to Derek. Hopefully we can play again in playoffs or in general sometime. It was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. So yeah, really need to win next week to try to clinch playoffs, boys. But yeah, man, we are now 4-3, and it's looking good for your boy playoffs wise. So yeah, man, thank you guys so much for watching. It means the world to me. And like always, have a swell day. Peace.